let's talk AI overall. What people think is going to happen in the legal transcription industry, court reporting, and what we are actually seeing and the problems that we see. So, what most people think is, the things that you have AI doing for you related to speech, like speech to text on your phone, or maybe you're working in medical transcription. And so, the systems that we have are doing well with that, right? They're improving, but it's because there's typically one speaker, right? And you are very close to the source that's doing it. So if you're, voice texting on your phone, the system is learning your specific voice over and over and over, right? Whether you slur words or whatever, it's learning on you, right? Medical transcription, if it's one doctor and they're recording something and then it gets sent to the transcriber, like that is much easier for AI, right? Now you need to think about the courtroom. Even if it's just a deposition in an attorney's office, right? So you have multiple people, typically at least 3, right? Usually more than that. And you have them in a courtroom in different areas. You're not holding a speaker to one person right here and there, it's catching everything, right? So if you're trying to do digital recording in a courtroom, like it has to be set up correctly, first of all. But then you have people talking over each other, which is insane in the legal system. You wouldn't think that it is because of proceedings that you see on TV and stuff, but that's not reality, right? People are talking over each other all of the time. You have, again, multiple people. Let's just say four people. You have different accents. You have different speech patterns. You have different speech tempo. You have people, we've had witnesses who had Tourette's. This one guy I'm actually thinking of, he had Tourette's. He had a brain injury from a motorcycle accident, I think it was. He slurred his speech like you could barely understand him. AI would not have a shot to understanding them. But even like the speech patterns, so if you're thinking you just put audio into an AI system and it's going to spit out the transcript in the format that it's supposed to, what happens with AI and what you have to do in legal transcript, you have to know who's talking, right? So when there's like a pause, like if I'm thinking of my next thing, like that would get messed up in AI because of speaker tokens coming in, and they think that it's like it's not a continuing thought. AI thinks if there's a pause, like that's it, right? So it just doesn't work, right? Then you have colloquialisms, you have local dialects. We do a lot of Yiddish speakers in New York. So AI just cannot deal with all of those things. It might if AI was trained on that person's speech for a while, like on your phone. That's not what happens in legal proceedings, right? So you have all of that. And then on the back end, so what people think is like you are going to get perfect audio, right? You can hear what everyone says. You can distinguish who is talking, right? And then you're just going to upload it into a software and it's going to spit it out, right? First of all, you rarely ever get audio that is that good. You sometimes have 20 speakers and some of them sound the same. AI cannot distinguish that. Like it's very difficult for, as a legal transcriber, like the court reporter, if it's a digital reporter, they're in the proceeding. They can see who's talking, right? So our notes should say who the speaker is every time it changes. Doesn't always happen in the notes, right? So it's hard for us to do it, and we can hear it and we can look at the notes and try to figure out, is that the same speaker? Has it changed? Blah, blah, blah. AI can't do that, right? Now, the way that we are seeing these systems actually be put into use isn't usually on the back end like that. It's on the front end. Why? Because we don't have enough court reporters for proceedings. We're not graduating enough court reporters to replace the ones that we have. And so they're trying to put the systems into the courtroom. Also because the court reporters are the biggest expense, right? So you need every court proceeding to be recorded somehow, some way, right? Whether it's a stenographer or a digital reporter, doesn't matter. It has to be recorded. So someone has to be there for every single proceeding. On the transcription end, not every proceeding is transcribed. They don't order a transcript for every single proceeding. The majority of proceedings don't have transcripts, I would guess. I don't know the actual numbers. I need to look that up. What the percentage is. But we know that not everyone gets recorded. So the biggest expense is the court reporters in the courts, right? Running the proceedings. So that is where they are trying to save money, because that is where they can save the most money, right? The court system has to have a court reporter on staff. That is an expense, okay? Transcripts, when they're ordered, are expensed to the client. The client pays for that. So they're not coming after us first, they're coming after the court reporters, right? So the AI systems that have been developed can't do what you think they can do. And so it causes problems. So that's why I don't think AI is taking over anytime soon in the way that you think it's going to take over in legal transcription.